Herbways, the pathway to family wellness.
Shabbat Shalom. You are welcome to your program, the award-winning program on TV, the only program on TV that is propagating the tenets of complementary herbal medicine, which many people always call natural medicine. Today we want to discuss a very unique fruit, the one I'm holding in my hand. What is this called in your language? This is called plantain. This is the only fruit that you can eat it raw, you can cook it, you can roast it, you can use it to do so many delicacies, and at the same time you can even use it, you can, if you like, break it into, blend it, put it in your blender and use it to make so many delicacies or smoothies. So many things are possible with this fruit. What is the fruit I'm talking about? The botanical name is called Musa paradisica. That is the name. People are familiar with it today because it can be used in various ways, like I said. For example, if you open this, if you open the cover like this, you can put it in a fire that is laden with charcoal to do what is called boli. Boli is very popular in this part of Nigeria, in the southwestern part of Nigeria. They call it boli, At the same time, when you now cut it, you put it inside a very hot granite or palm oil. Use it to do what we call dodo. And at the same time, you can also boil it, eat it with palm oil. You can also cut it, put it in your beans. It blends with so many kinds of recipe, And Yoruba call it ogede. I don't know what you call it in your language. The Beninese call it ogeda. Then ogede. The Hausas call it ayaba. And they say the Igbo call it ojioko. Please, pardon me, my non-Yoruba speaking audience, if I didn't call it well. But at least you know what I'm talking about. This fruit is very popular in the whole of West Africa and even beyond. We see it in Brazil, we see it in the Philippines and in other tropical areas. You see plantain there, Plantain has been a worldwide fruit that is very phenomenal in its efficacy and its nutritional supplies, And at the same time, let me now say that it's not only the fruit that is useful. Maybe you have you taken note of the fact that when you want to eat plantain, you remove the cover and then you eat the bulb inside. What happens to the cover? You throw it away and then the goats eat it. Have you noticed goats? Have you noticed the skin of the goat? The skin of the goat will be shining as if you are polishing the skin. You that is eating this one, you are not as shining as the goat. Have you asked yourself why? Because it has been found that even this cover contains a lot of antioxidant and is very, very rich. We are not saying you should be eating the cover as if you are a goat. That's not what we are saying. But at the same time, you can still take away this cover, juices, extract the water that is there, and you can drink it. It is very, very useful in taking care of so many ailments, inflammation and the rest of them. And at the same time, the water, the leaf of this plant, banana leaf, can also be soaked in water and used to take care of some types of diabetes. However, pregnant women are not advised to engage in all this. As we always say on this program, when you see all this expose, you may not just go and try it hook, line and sinker. You should also consult the experts to guide you on the ways to do it, so that in the process of obeying the law of nature, you don't just go and cause problems for yourself. If you've taken notice of our forefathers before the advent of oil, they usually eat this thing raw. They will cut it, they will eat it, or they use palm oil or they boil it. But with the advent of groundnut oil, everybody has turned to dodo eaters. Everybody eats dodo. Put it. Some people, they cannot eat this thing even if it is boiled until it is fried. And you and I know that fried things is causing a lot of problems in our health situation now. People with cholesterol level, they may not be able to enjoy their dodo like that. People are having issues with blood pressure. People who are having the tendency to be obese. They cannot be taking those things that are fried. All those things, So that is why it is good for us to be properly educated on plantain. The sap can also be used, but we are not going to dwell on that. Why is this so unique? Why is plantain so unique? Listen to this. Since plantain has a lot of calories and energy assuring food, security of million households worldwide, the Nutritional assumes that plantain must be best pest for diabetes patients. Yes, I've said it that people who are diabetic, they can benefit from plantain. Apart from that, it contains vitamin A, in addition to being a powerful antioxidant. I said that the other time, this plantain, you know. Then fresh plantain contains vitamin C, you know, helps the body to develop resistance against infectious disease and scavenge harmful oxygen-free radicals. It's also a rich source of B complex vitamins, particularly high in B6, the one that decreases homocysteine, one of the causative factors of coronary heart diseases and stroke episode in our body system. As plantain is also a source of calcium, it is good for strong teeth, bones, you know, nails and muscles, you know. For ulcer patients, this is a recipe which you must also listen to. They say plantain should be sliced, soaked in water, you know, in 5 liters of water. Half glass of that to be taken for 2 weeks, you know. That equation is very, very simple. When you soak it in water, the water will turn milky. So it covers the surface of the area that is exposed or any inflammation or wound that is present in your stomach. And what does that mean? If that place is insulated, the vitamin C there will aid wound healing. It's going to facilitate that. And hence, it will also act as an antacid. In other words, it will neutralize the acidity in your tummy. So that what we now have there will be ordinary salt and water. And there could be a relief for those that are suffering from ulcer. Plantain can be used for so many things. Even it has been proven that people who are having issues with low libido, you can always use your boilie with palm oil and eat it. It can restore, you know, your libido to some extent, provided we know the primary cause. Because you cannot be having issues with staphylococcus now, and you're having low libido, then you now want to go and be eating boilie with palm oil. If you like, eat what is more than boilie. Since the underlying problem has not been addressed, you cannot get it right, except you remove the underlying cause. So there are many things we can derive from our fruits, you know. And then what are we saying? We are saying that we should be eating more of our fruits. On this program, we are encouraging people to de-emphasize on eating foods that are bought at fast food joints. The snacks of this world, the pizzas of this world, they are not healthy. Those of us who have been privileged to travel outside the country, people who are always eating on fast food, the aftermath is not good at all. You see people growing very big, you see them having water in the lower part of the abdomen. You'll be asking yourself, you see adding some jerrycans of water in there, you'll be asking yourself, is that the kind of personality we want to be growing in this country? Certainly the answer is no. So let us try and embrace nature, because nature is our teacher, nature is our healer, and nature can teach us so many things. Welcome to the second segment of this program. I earlier said that we are going to look at a very common disease that has been termed the silent killer. They gave it that name because even if it is in your body, you may not know. And some people believe, well, I can manage with it. Well, I can manage with it. What is that ailment called? It is called hypertension. Or let's put it this way, we want to discuss blood pressure. Blood pressure. As the name implies, the pressure that is exerted by the blood on your heart in the artery walls. When your heart is beating, yes, that is beating. That is not the pressure. The pressure can only be measured with a device called blood pressure monitor or sphygmomanometer. You know, the question is, when was the last time you checked your blood pressure? Listen to this, what someone said. Please, doctor, this is what somebody wrote. I'm fed up with my condition. I'm no longer myself, even with some synthetic drugs that I do take on a daily basis. My brain never settled. Besides, I'm feeling a sense of emptiness in my system. My legs and hands, including my fingers, are now deadened. My hands also shake. Such a complaint is so rampant among our patients nowadays. Now, no doubt, about 70% of patients that have registered with us are hypertensive. That is what you see today. Yes, many of us may say, yes, I'm not sick, I didn't go to the hospital. But if, like I always say, each time I bring out my blood pressure monitor, some people will be running away. Some people don't even want to know at all. You don't want to know what your blood pressure is. And that is why some people are walking around with a very elevated blood pressure, unknown to them. Such ones, tomorrow, if they suddenly struck their leg on a stone or a stump and they fall down, you will attribute it to witchcraft, one woman in the village, evil spirit, someone is not paying his tithe, and not those garments. That's what people always say, not knowing that you are actually the architect of your misfortune. So what is hypertension? Popularly known as high blood pressure is an element that suddenly kills its victim. That is why it is called silent killer. It has been described as a bombshell of death ready to explode if necessary solution is not taken. What are the causes? Now let us look at what causes it. Now that we know what hypertension is. Hypertension is when you consistently maintain a very high blood pressure, which in medicine we call when your systolic level is currently high. But then the warning is this: when you check your blood pressure for the first time, that is not a confirmation that you are hypertensive. You must check it again. If you check it again and it still remains so, that means you're hypertensive. But if the worst is even that sometimes it will be high and it will be low. If your situation is like that, then your heart is weak. You've got to do something. The heart must maintain a particular dynamics. When that dynamic is not there, when it is fluctuating, then there is a problem. There is a big problem. So that is why today's topic concerns everybody. So hypertension occurs as a result of excessive worry, excessive mental workload, excessive consumption of fatty food, which is the increase of the cholesterol. Now let's look at anxieties. All those things can be grouped under anxieties. Anxieties in the sense that you are worried, you heard the news, you are disappointed, certain things that are supposed to come, you have not seen it, or maybe it can even appear in our love life. Maybe someone has promised you to marry to you, the person suddenly back off, and then your blood pressure just shot up like that. Or maybe you witness an explosive encounter, or even you can even get it from your nightmare. Maybe in your nightmare you saw somebody who was chasing you around with guns, and all of a sudden you woke up and you are shouting, and your blood pressure is still beating fast. That is the issue. So the heart works 24 hours in a day non-stop. If the heart should show you any sign of distress, it has to be seriously taken. Then excessive consumption of fatty foods. We just discussed it now. When you are taking foods that are made of fat. These days we are in the era of cakes, we are in the era of pizzas. Those are some of the contributing factors. And of course, many of us don't exercise. We are so lazy that everything, remote control has taken place, has taken charge of everything. Even when we want to go to the toilet, we can even remote control it. It has gotten worse to that level. We cannot move around. We can't cook our food. We have the house girl who will do that for us. We just sit down in one chair and we'll be backing out instruction like the Emperor of Rome. That is not helping anybody. We need to exercise. We need to move around. There are some of us, our job is sedentary in nature. In other words, the place you are sitting down is where all the things you are going to eat will come and meet you. That is not healthy. You need to move around so that the body can burn some calories and you can be active, So, and the mechanism of it is that the blood vessels are supposed to be elastic in nature. In other words, it is flexible. But it will get to a situation whereby a certain deposit are deposited on its walls, which could not allow that elasticity to take place. In other words, the capillary walls will be hardened. When that happens, the condition is called atherosclerosis, which is very, very serious. It's one of the leading causes of blood pressure. So, and when it happens like that, it can irritate the lungs. And when the lungs are irritated, you may start coughing. That is why when you are coughing and you are using all the expectorant, all the cough syrup, and your cough is not abating, you better go and see your doctor. Because that problem may not be traced only to your respiratory problem. It could be your cardio, it could now be cardiopulmonary. In other words, it could be cardiopulmonary, your lungs and heart. They are working together. Those of us who are science students, we know the relationship that exists between the lungs and the heart as far as circulation of blood is concerned. One will now start wondering, if I'm having this problem, what can I do? First thing I said is make sure you regularly check your blood pressure. But the catch there is this: Even if you have the blood pressure monitor at home, you must make sure that you have the right blood pressure monitor. All those ones they are doing these days, they put in the fingers, they put in, I don't really have confidence in those ones. The ones I believe in are those ones that will wrap around your upper arm, very close to your elbow, with some inches away from your elbow, that you apply pressure. It can be automatic or analog, I don't care. But it should be accurate. But the battery operated ones are more advantageous because you don't need any specialist to operate it for you. You can operate it yourself. But for God's sake, those ones that are using battery, when you know you are not using it, take away the batteries. Because when the batteries start corroding, the reading will be, erratic. It will not be really straight. It will not be what you want. Supposing you now check it and the thing tells you that your blood pressure is high, off you go to the pharmacy and you start buying drugs and you start using it. That is not the right approach. And I think we have to really educate ourselves on this. There's nothing bad if you have the blood pressure monitor at home. But are you maintaining it in a way that it will give you the accurate reading? Accurate reading is very, very essential. That is very, very important. When you are not getting the accurate reading, you can also second guess. Supposing the thing says your blood pressure is high, there are some of them that even talks. If it tells you that your blood pressure is high, it's better you go and check maybe in a pharmacy. These days, so many pharmacies, they have blood pressure monitor. Go and check it there and confirm. If it is high, what do? Don't start buying drugs there and start treating yourself. Go and see your doctor. He'll be able to now open a file for you, look at your medical history, and pinpoint the right cause. Because in medicine, as we always say on this program, diagnosis is very important. When the diagnosis is wrong, the treatment will be wrong. But then if you have been diagnosed for high blood pressure or hypertension, these are the foods you should be taking. Very important. High potassium foods, such as this one which I have shown. This is one of the things you'll be taking. You can even take his younger brother, which is called banana. Those are very rich in potassium. Then there is a herbal tea called Mistoto. All over the world, Mistoto has been rated as one of the best tea to be taken when you are having issues with high blood pressure. Then we are in the era of bitters. Most of these bitters too are good. But the problem is many of us don't like taking bitter things. But not to worry, they have encapsulated so many of them that you can take, But why not? If it will save your life, why can't you take bitter things? Then you should be eating fruits like celery, which is called garden egg, and garlic, fatty fish, fruits and vegetables, olive oil, high calcium foods, potassium foods, such as banana, we have talked about it, fatty fish, e.g. mackerel, leafy vegetables, milk, broccoli, and vitamin C. Those are the foods you should be taking. But these are the foods you should avoid. That is talking about managing it. Foods that raise blood pressure, that they are high intake of meat. Those of us who like to eat in the canteen, we say in the name of orishirishi, the food will be sandwiched with plenty of meat, especially this era of festivity. Many of us, we eat meat in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. It's not going to help you. If you are that a glutton, if you are that gullible, you are eating meat as if tomorrow will not come. You are digging your grave with your teeth. I must tell you that. So everything has to be in moderation. The purpose of the essence of the festivity is to share the meat, but no, some of us will go and keep the fridge in the meat in our refrigerator, and we'll be eating it morning, evening, and afternoon. Yes, we want to eat our money. We bought it with money. We must finish it. That will not help anybody. And high intake of salt. You should be very careful. I'm also guilty of that. But then I have a way of purging myself out of that. I'm not saying you should be like me, but high intake of salt is not good. Then, now let's now come to treatment. That has always been the issue. Treatment. How can you treat someone who is hypertensive? And I want you to listen to this. The first thing you must ensure if you're hypertensive is this. Your toilet habit. What does it look like? And are there other underlying issues you are having? Are you diabetic? Is your kidney functioning well? I've said on this program, kidney, heart, and pancreas, they work together, So when one is diseased, it can affect others. You see some people, they will have issue with hypertension. You see their legs will swollen up. When that happens, you should also investigate the kidney because kidney takes care of water in the body. That is why in acupuncture, The kidney is regarded as a water organ because it deals mainly with the fluid in the body. The first thing to do is, yes, if your leg is swelling up or you are having that issue, do you go to toilet regularly? How many times do you wee-wee? You have to know that. If you wake up in the night, do you wake up to wee-wee? Then apart from that, what kind of medication are you taking? Do you take your medication seriously? If you go to hospital and they give you drugs, do you take it religiously? Some of us will say we are fasting and you will not take the drugs. And I always say this, if you are hypertensive, night vigil is not meant for you. If you are hypertensive, serious work is not meant for you to be, especially those who belong to a faith. We are clapping and all those kind of physical exertion is incorporated. You don't need it. If you try it, you just fall down and that will be the end, you know. So you need to take things easy. You must observe your sleep as at when due. If you don't sleep, your brain does not rest, your blood pressure will not come down, you know. Take your medicine regularly. In a situation where you are taking the drugs regularly and you are not getting any effect, if you want to go natural, the first thing you do is, there is a particular salt which is called Epsom salt. Yes, Epsom salt. You can engage in Epsom salt bath. What will it do to you? It's going to open your skin pores so that your skin can breathe. Many of us don't even believe our skin do breathe. We have pores in our body. Allow your skin to breathe so that it can liberate some energy, some unwanted metabolite in your body can escape. In that case, it will also assist your blood pressure. Then, of course, magnetic therapy can also help. When you take water that is magnetized, then your blood pressure will automatically drop. Then listen to this. Chinese acupuncture has been one of the best and potent therapy for people who are hypertensive. Ask me why. In one of the regular 12 channels in acupuncture, the heart channel is ably represented. The heart channel is there, which you can use to correct so many imbalances in both the physiological, psychological, and anatomical changes that takes place in your cardiovascular system. There are points to be needled. And when you want to seek acupuncture treatment, like I always say on this program, don't go to people who will be putting parts on your body or who will be carrying some offensive boxes around in the name of treatment. Those are not acupuncturists. Acupuncturists use needles. They know where to put the needles in your body. And when they put the needles, your blood pressure will automatically shoot down. For what some people will refer to as efficiency's sake, I can even give you some points you can use. You know, there are some points you can read. There is a particular point between the big toe and the second toe in the leg, some distance from that web. That is called liver 3. The Chinese call that point Tai Chong. When you put your needle there with the patient lying supine, the meaning of supine is you lie on your back with your face facing the sky. When you put your needle there, and then you come to the tibia, the bone in the leg. The longer of the two is called the tibia. Where they join together, that is called the tibia tuberosity. In that space there, just one finger breadth, slot one needle there. That point is called stomach 36. The Chinese name is Susan Li. When you combine Susan Li with Tai Chong, your blood pressure will come down. And then when you come to the upper limb too, there is a point. There is a muscle here which is called flexor carpi ulnaris muscle, which is in the wrist crease here. You can also slot the needle there. And when you bend your hand like this, there is a line here. At the end of that line, which is in the elbow crease here, you can put your needle there. The point is called Chu Chi. The one here is called Shenme. Shenme in Chinese means the God's door. The meaning of that is when you slot in the needle there, your blood pressure will automatically drop because this point will enable you to sleep if you have not been sleeping. And that's another thing. If you're hypertensive, watching late night movie is not your cause. Avoid it. You need to rest very well, you know. So this point is going to enable you to sleep, and this one. And of course, you know you are going to start with the point on the head, which is called Pai Hui. All these points, when you divert them, you know, it's going to make sure that, it's going to ensure that your body attains a level of what we call homeostasis. Homeostasis means the ability of the body working parameters to function at the equilibrium. Acupuncture can help you to achieve that. That is it. So, but the warning or the catch there is this. If you must engage in that, go to somebody who is a specialist. Don't patronize quacks so that they will not worsen your condition for you. So those of you who sees hypertension as a death sentence, I am telling you now that that is not the case. And that is the beauty of watching this program. Those of you who has made it a deal to be watching this program every week, you always tell me you always gain anything while you're watching this program. And today has not been an exception. The secret of feeling has been lodged in our body by God himself. But the Chinese have discovered it more than 2,000 years ago, before the birth of Christ. The Chinese have been doing acupuncture, and it has been working wonderfully well for them. So I have unleashed some of those things today. So let us try and incorporate that, and let us do exercise. Now, when we talk about exercise, please don't get me wrong. If you are hypertensive, it is not for you to be carrying weight, because these days is very fashionable among boys. They want to develop upper chest. Yes, it's allowed. But if you're hypertensive and you're engaging in that, one of these days you will just drop dead. Yes, that is not meant for you. Walking around is a very good form of exercise. That is if you're hypertensive. And when they are playing ball, you want to show that you are Messi or Ronaldo, you go and join them. When your heart is not good, you will drop dead. We have seen many cases like that at Igondo. When I was living at Ikotun, they will rush them to the hospital. When they are brought to the hospital, they are already stone dead. What can we do? Because the heart is good. And that's why you see some people, when they go for some interview, when they tell them to run 100 meters, some of them will run and they will collapse, or some of them will be panting. So if you know that your heart is not good, don't engage in that. Not all of us will work in immigration or other places, or you let your interviewer or your employer know your health status. But that does not mean we should not treat ourselves. So when you notice any of those things, or maybe when you sit down, or maybe you are walking, you started feeling dizzy. These are some of the things you should watch out for. Or you see that your hands are trembling. Or maybe after a little exercise, or some of us cannot even climb a staircase. When you climb a staircase, you suddenly feel some pains in your heart, and then you are getting tired. That is called angina pectoris. It means your heart is weak. Then it needs to be treated. And not everything you swallow pills, as I have said in today's program. There are other things we can do that we can use to help ourselves.
Herbways, the pathway to family wellness.